Okay, welcome to the next lesson, the 2.0 version. These are the supplemental bonus 2.0 lessons that go with the original core 1.0. All right, I want to just get down to it. The most important part of this whole program, the thing that makes the whole thing work, that's all predicated on, is you actually getting paying customers, or else you're going to get so close, but you'll still be so far from success. So I want to just start out with just saying one way you get customers. I'm going to act it out for you. We're going to give you some scripts that you can download. You should see links below. But I just want to go through one. You can modify the script a little bit yourself. Obviously, you're going to have to change out the names, and you have to change a few things and modify. But this is the basic script. I'm just going to do it right here. I'm going to pretend. Now, there's basically 3 ways you can approach businesses, okay? In person, all right? On the phone, I'm going to say 4 because you can do email, or you can have an online system to close them. Like you can advertise online with your own ads, advertising your services, and people can click them. So those are 4. So let's talk about, I'm going to talk first about this one, the phone, just because it's a personal preference. If you're more shy, you might want to do more of these. If you're more outgoing, you might want to be more on this side. This is more shy, introverted way, more extroverted. So I'm going to assume, let's just say, half of you are extroverts and half of you are introverts. So let's talk about for the extroverts first. Pretend I'm going to do it as a phone, but you could kind of see this in person. So you're going to learn in other lessons what type of businesses to go after, like which are the most profitable ones, the easiest to go. So that's for another lesson. So assuming you're going after, let's say you're going to go after one of those highly targeted ones are like specialty medical practices, like cosmetic dentists, cosmetic surgery surgeons, because they get a lot of money from one customer. And their biggest weak link is just more customers. They don't need volume. They just need, they charge, 10, 20, 30 grand. So one customer to them can be very valuable. So let's pretend you got a phone number and you called. Okay, you're probably going to get the secretary first. So you just call, I'm going to call, and it's Susie or whatever. Now, you need to identify who the owner is before. So you do a little research before you get on the phone call. So let's say it's Dr. Spock. We'll say Dr. Spock, okay? So you call and the secretary answers and you go, hey, well, first of all, one of the best things you can do, assuming it's not some crazy cosmetic surgery, is go make an appointment with them. Like if you don't have a dentist, go get somebody to clean your teeth and make them a customer. So that's a little warm up. You don't just have plastic surgery just to get a customer. That would not make sense, okay? But I was just throwing that out there if it's like if you're targeting a regular dentist or an optometrist, or a skin care, a doctor that's maybe treating acne or something, maybe you have a little acne. That's the best, by the way. Because then they're kind of indebted to listen to you because you're paying them, all right? Same with restaurants. Best thing, go eat at a restaurant you identified once or twice and then ask to talk to the manager. So that's like in person or phone, okay? That's the best. I just want to start with saying that. Become a paying customer if you can. Little trick. That's what I did to get one of my first mentors. So that's a little ninja bonus tip. Pizza place. You want a pizza place? Like there's a guy in SMMA 1.0, a kid. I met him. I did a celebrity basketball game. I actually coached. I was supposed to play, but Trevor Ariza from the Houston Rockets didn't show up to his own charity. It was his charity. He had some emergency come up. So I coached against Metta World Peace from the Lakers. It was kind of cool. But a kid came up to me from the stands. He goes, I'm 21 years old and I've got a franchise. I think it was Little Caesars. A guy who owned like 30 Little Caesars hired him to do the marketing for each one of his stores and paid him like $500 per store per month. So he was making like 15 grand a month. His first contract, this kid was like, woo, I love your program, Ty. So let's say you want to go after a pizza restaurant. Go eat there. Because a lot of those restaurants, the owner's there or the manager or the decision maker's there. So the key is we need to talk to the decision maker, okay? Or else you're just spinning your wheels. But you can't, most decision makers try to hide behind their secretaries, behind their personal assistants and so on. So when you become a paying customer, they don't hide as much. So that's a hotel, you want that, but go stay at the hotel. Go eat at the little hotel restaurant. Go eat at the bar. Do it more than once, okay? You got to be smart. You got to build a little bit, you got to be a little bit of patient. Oh, and plus you get pizza out of it, right? Or you get your teeth cleaned, or you get some plastic surgery if you need it. Okay, so let's just say, let me start with in-person. I'll just start right here. So let's assume you build a little relationship and you can get to the decision maker. First rule, and I'm going to tell you my style, because there's different styles of sales. A lot of different styles. There's people that are aggressive and very, kind of salesy, like, hello, I'm Ty, and I am great at getting customers for small businesses, and I'd like to show you what I can do for you. That's not my style. There are people who have success with that, but I can't teach stuff that's not me. So I'm just going to teach my way. My way is predicated around take an interest, a genuine interest in people. Okay, if you're an introvert, sometimes introverts don't like to be around people, but if you're an extrovert, you're talking to someone in person, just talk to the business. I would just say to the owner, you're there, you order pizza, you're like, good pizza. So how's business these days? So that's the first part of the script. Do not be afraid. Exact words. So how's business going these days? And then the key, shut up. So what you're going to be learning in these scripts is what I call the T&S formula. T&S, talk and shut up. T and S. You can't just T and you can't just S. Some people are all T, some people are all S. You talk, then you shut up. Then they talk for a while, then it's your turn to talk. Then you shut up. And the shut up should be probably, they've done studies on how quiet good salespeople in. You want it to be about double the length them talking than you. So don't talk the majority of the time. Talk for like 30 seconds and then them talk for double that, like 1 minute at least. And then you talk for, 2 minutes, let them talk for 4 minutes. Just a simple ratio, okay? So the T and S ratio, let them talk at least 2 times more than you. So you go to the restaurant, you become a paying customer, or you go to the dentist, you talk to the decision maker, okay? You take a genuine interest by asking that opening question. So how's business these days? And then shut up, because let people tell you. A lot of times they'll be like, it's not bad, Or they'll say, been a tough year. Lost my personal assistant, moved away, or man, this economy, where sales are down. If they say that, and you took a genuine interest, it's real easy for you to make your presentation. But it's always easy to make it because there's no business that says, I want no more paying customers. Now, what you need to do, you need what's called transitions. And I'm going to put this all in a script. I'm just breaking it down. So you need your transitions, okay? And what your transitions do, they segue between you talking and shutting up into actually making your pitch. So you have your pitch, okay? But what people do wrong is they go straight to the pitch without first taking a genuine interest, T&S'ing, talking and shutting up, listening. Then you got your transition eventually into the pitch. So here's you. You've opened the door. You got your opening, which is, if best, like I said, is being a paying customer. You open, then you take the genuine interest. Okay, that opens the door a little bit more. Then you T&S, talk and shut up, right? Just walking you through here, a few reminder here. Right? And this is, of course, you got to be talking to the decision maker. So there needs to be another person you're talking to, obviously. Decision maker, DM. You open, genuine interest, talk and shut up. And then what do? We got a transition. It's like in comedy. The best comedians know how to transition, and then you got your sales pitch. And then you try to close, and then you follow up. That's it. That's the script. And I'm just going to walk you kind of through it. So, Sam, are you able to come here? Actually, I'll just pretend I have a fake person here, invisible person. So I'm talking to him. I might even sit. If I'm eating a pizza, I'm just sitting there, and so the guy's name is Bob. And you're like, hey, Bob, how's business going? I've been coming here for a while, eating your pizza pretty good. Is it up or down? I'm taking a genuine interest, right? I'm opening. Now TNS. I talked, and now I shut up. Let him shut up a little longer than you think is normal. Just a teeny bit. Don't go like completely silent. But if you think resist the temptation. If you normally would talk here, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. When I'm on the phone, I actually mute it. And I put the phone down, so it's hard for me to start talking again, even if I want to. I just got on speaker on mute. Okay? So I would say, business. So let's assume Bob's on this side. Yeah, it's not bad this year. Pizza business. Price of cheese went up. And I would turn around and I would share, to be genuine, I would probably just kind of, so I TNS, I would do it again. You TNS a few times. Really? What is the normal price of cheese? Oh, and by the way, this is a real story I once had with a pizza guy. So this cheese thing is actually what they think about. And he's like, yeah, cheese went up and wheat went up, and it's because it's damn NAFTA or something. And he starts talking, and I was like, how'd NAFTA change it? So you want to have at least 3 TNS sessions, okay? Meaning you can't just go right into the pitch. Like, so how's business? Cheese has gone up. By the way, I'd like to tell you about my services. Like, it's too weird. So you need at least 3 normal conversations that have nothing to do with you getting what you want. So you go, oh, what did NAFTA do? What happened? Well, NAFTA allowed, cheese to come in from Canada. And now they're having a drought up there. So this is, like I said, an actual conversation I had. Yeah. So now I begin my transition. I've done 3 times. I'd be like, yeah, I've been in business for a while. I've seen these cycles go. I've seen these cycles go up and down. They're annoying. I saw it in, 2008. I saw in 2001 there was a cycle. Now I begin my transition. So I gotta go from what he was saying to what I was saying with a slight transition. So I would be like, one of the big breakthroughs that saved me through it was social media. Like once I started learning social media, I started being able to weather the storm of the recession. And I'd be like, what's your guys' Instagram? And then they'll tell you, and it'll probably be horrible with like 3 followers. And be like, man, you got a good pizza place here. Nobody knows about you. Your average post is getting like 3 likes. And almost always, so you transition, now you're beginning your pitch. And the pitch is broken down into first, identify and point out a problem. This is very key. You gotta point out a problem, guys. Don't skip this in your pitch. Because or else if you just start talking about how you'll charge them to make money, if you haven't identified it, they won't take it seriously. They'll just think you're trying to sell them. So I love Instagram because business owners suck at it. You can pull up Google site, be like, hey, what's your website? And you pull up Google speed test and you put it in and be like, man, your website gets an F from Google in how fast it is. Like, people are probably trying to go to your website to find stuff. It's too slow. They go to a different pizza place. That's going to kill you in a recession, man. It's going to kill you. This price of cheese, margins are thin, man. And the guy goes, they'll start shaking their head because you're pointing out a real problem. It's the beauty of the SMMA. No businesses, basically on planet Earth, there's at least 20 million businesses in the United States. At least triple that global. So let's say there's 80 million businesses in the world. Like 10,000 are good at social media. Maybe not even that much. 3,000 out of 80 million. Really. It's like even a huge. I have more followers than Coca-Cola last time I checked. Or do I have more followers? Well, I get way more views. Coca-Cola. Let's just look at Coca-Cola. Global brand. I mean, if Coca-Cola's not good at it, yeah, I have more followers than Coca-Cola. Their last video got 69,000 views that they posted. No, they haven't posted for 4 months. That's all you got to know. One of these days, I'm going to do this same talk with the CEO of Coca-Cola. Actually, someone was going to set it up. They were friends with the CEO. I don't care about helping big corporations. So when you identify the problem, it's always there. Every dentist, every doctor, every construction worker, unless they have another SMMA person from my program already working with them, they don't know what they're doing. It's a pain point. You point it out, and I would dig in like a splinter. I would push it in and be like, man, your Instagram's not very, do you have a YouTube channel? You don't even have a YouTube channel? YouTube's the #2 search in the world. If people search, you don't even come up on Google or YouTube, and Google owns YouTube, Mr. Pizza owner. Man, you're never gonna make, like, this economy's changing, man. Toys R Us is out of business. JCPenney's going out of business. Sears is going out of business. You know, you got to be careful. I love your pizza. And you should tell them, you know, by the way, the reason I know this, I own a social media marketing agency. I help businesses. I'm not trying to sell you on anything, but I give you some free pointers right here. Like you're not pointing, you don't have videos with faces on them. Those are things, by the way, you'll learn in the social media marketing program, like how to do good social media, and just be like, man, you open a YouTube. I could open a YouTube channel for you. How much are you spending on marketing? So here's what I call the pivot question. So before you get to the close, you need to get the pivot question. Okay, and that's generally just, what are you paying on marketing? Okay, that's one option in the script. The other one you could use, so you got 2 pivot questions. What are you already paying? The second one is, how much is one new customer worth, one loyal customer worth to you? How much is one loyal customer worth to you? And if it's a pizza place, they might say, oh, you know, one loyal customer comes in once a week and we make an extra $100 a month on them or something like that, or $50 or something. Or a cosmetic surgeon will be like, oh, well, you know, it's worth 10 grand for me. Your average surgery is 10 grand. And you say, well, so you pivoted from you identify the problem, you spent time here. Notice this bubble's kind of big. Really hammer hard on what's wrong with their social media and their website. Do you have an email list? I was noticing I buy pizza. Are you sending out coupons? Because like sometimes I want to order pizza. Do you have Facebook ads? Because sometimes I have like a party and I don't want to order from Domino's and I just Google it and you don't even come up. Pound away on the problem, then pivot into the question, well, you know, how much you paying on marketing? How much you spending on your social media marketing? Ask that question. Exact script. How much you spending on social media marketing? Most businesses will be like, none. You'd be like, what? Like social media is like the future. You don't spend any on it? What are you going to get? Billboards? TV commercials and nobody watches anymore because they watch Netflix or they DVR stuff? So you're identifying the problem, you're pivoting. Then you can use both of them. Well, what's the value if I could bring you one more loyal customer a day, 30 a month? Will that help you? You said they're worth $100. 30 a month would be $3,000 a month of revenue for you, plus the word of mouth, them telling other people about you. Now you begin to close. Begin to close. And the key is you don't always close on the first time. It's kind of like a date. If you met somebody and you, on the first date, it's going well, and you got down on one knee and pulled out a ring and said, you know what, I would like to marry you. Will you accept, you know, this engagement ring? They're going to think you're crazy. So you're not fully closing always. Once in a while, you're going to get somebody close on that first one, but you're opening the door. And then you're going to follow up. You're going to follow up. You'll learn about that in some other lessons. Okay? You're going to follow up. So to close. And then after we close, we're going to follow up. And we're going to do what I call a partial close, not a full close. And then we follow up. My fish are getting fed. So the partial close, sounds like I have piranhas in here, man. So the partial close can be like, man, we should talk. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to change your business. I'm going to change your life. You change my life with your good pizza. Let's talk. and then shut up again. Let them see, because sometimes people aren't interested. Just remember this. Sometimes that guy is a cheap person. They're never. And you just got to move on. It's like a bad date. You just got to find a good date, you have to go through some bad ones. And that's part of the game. So you must identify. So that's what I call right here. Right before the follow-up, there's a little thing called the identification. You must identify. As you did the partial close, should I follow up? Because don't follow up on people that are like, I hate social media. Social media killed my father. Something like that. Just move on. This person has trauma. Instagram caused their dad to have a heart attack. And you'll get better at identifying. You're not going to be perfect at it. But that's it. That's the thing. They could have taught you this in school. You could have been drilled in this by the time you're 18 for 3 years, because this is the same formula to close any kind of deal. So let's just walk through it again, okay? Let's pick a different industry. You're going to go after a doctor or a dentist. And let's say you didn't become their customer. You're not going to be a customer of everything. So you need to get in the door. So let's say I walk into a dentist's office, and you just wait there, and you just say to the secretary, hey, I need to talk to Dr. So-and-so. Now remember, in general, they don't know why you're there. Now they might say, oh, why you're here, and just say, I work with different dentists, and I got a way to get them more paying customers using social media. Just be honest. It's such a novel, cool idea that even though the closing rate will be lower, some people will say, oh, he's busy, he's not interested. Some will say, come back later. Don't be rejected. Just walk out and go. There's hundreds of doctors' offices in almost every 2-hour driving radius, unless you live really rural, and then you can reach them on the phone. So you're going to walk in 1 out of 3, and 2 out of 3 are going to say no, and 1's going to let you talk. And just say, hey, real quick, I was just nearby. Always say this line, by the way, in the script. I was just nearby, which isn't a lie, right? I was just nearby. I wanted to drop in and tell you one thing. I'm certified in helping dentists use social media to get more paying customers. Memorize that phrase. I'm certified in helping helping dentists get more paying customers using social media. I looked at and then you go, remember? Now for this, since you don't know the person as well, I want you to cut out this part. You're going to have to cut out this because they don't know you. It's going to sound cheesy to just be like, so how's your kids? Like you can't do genuine interest TNS. You need to go right into the transition and the pitch. So, you need to get rid of these 3. So you would go from the open right into the pitch because that doctor, that dentist is ready to go. He wants to walk out the door. Sometimes the great thing to do is get there at the end of the day. That dentist leaves at 5, get there at 4:55. He's walking out. That's one of my mentors, Richard. He had a real estate mentor when he was a young kid in the 70s. And he showed up at the end of the day because they have to walk to their car. That's a trick, okay? That's why you're paying the big bucks to be in this program. So you cut out the TNS times 3, the genuine issue transition. You go here, boom. But get right into identifying problems. And make sure you did your research. Hey, Dr. Bob, Dr. Susie, I was checking out your social media. Like your website, you don't even have an email follow-up. You probably have people referring friends that they don't have time to call you. It's 2 in the morning and you're like losing customers. I can show you how to add an email autoresponder to your website and just have literally automated follow-up with people who visit your website. Oh, I noticed you don't have Facebook. You don't have any retargeting going. People are visiting your website. Oh, I was looking at how you don't have a mobile-friendly website. Like, look how your website looks on my phone. 60% of use now of the internet is on the phone. Oh wait, you don't have a video on here. Nobody's reading anymore, Dr. Susie. I just wanted you to know, I'm not here to close you now. Remember, this is a partial close. I would just go, and you go to the pivot. I'm going to say, just a quick, one important question, then I'm going to go. How much value do you get from one paying customer who stays for years with you? What's that worth to you? And you can know the metrics you should know a little bit and research. You can even Google it, depending on what kind of doctor they are. You know, cosmetic surgeon is much higher, 10, 20, 30 grand. Not even, and you say, not even counting the referrals. And if it's a dentist, you can figure it out. Call up before you get there, do a little research, find out how much teeth cleaning. Okay, this, okay, it's 200, 300 bucks. Plus people have cavities, this, oh, okay, the average person spends like $1,000 a year and they stay a couple years, that's 2,000, 3,000. You say, listen, I've been certified, I specialize in people, offices like you. As you get, by the way, more customers, you can show them testimonials. Your first customer is the hardest. But you can say, you know, I work with Dr. George down the road and here and here. And they're always in your contract have the right to use their name at testimonials. You don't have to put it all public, but in conversations. Yeah, I work with Dr. Bob, George, you know. And I'd love to talk to you a little more. I know you're busy. I actually got to go. But when's a good time to follow up? What's the best way? Can I swing by? I come by here every once in a while. Can I come by in a few days? I just want to show you a little free audit proposal that I've created that breaks down everything you need to do. And I'm going to let you keep this for free. If you want to let your secretary do it, you don't even have to use me. I'm so good at this that I can pop these out. It'll take the average person 8 hours to do an audit. I can do one in 20 minutes. Let me do an audit for you. So this is called, when you're doing the first one was a warm sale. The pizza guy was warm because I already was a customer there. Cold is where you're like going door to door or cold calling. You need to offer. So there's one part you got to add, okay? So the partial close consists of a free offer. If it's a hot lead, this isn't as important. It's still good to do a free offer, but it's not, it's because you already are in the door, the foot's in the door, it's not as important, but it never hurts. So the free offer, you say to them, listen, I'm gonna create this audit, it's a 2-page report. I'll swing by here and I just wanna go over it. Literally, look, I think I can bring you 10 customers potentially this month. So I hear this out because that will change your bottom line. That'll make your spouse happier. It'll take the pressure off you, you know. All the money in being a dentist is in getting the initial cost. They have to pay off $500,000 in equipment. Don't ever think these business owners you're talking to aren't under pressure. Average restaurant costs $200,000 to $2 million to set up. That's debt. They owe a bank. The average, my friend wife's a dentist. They just borrowed, I think, either $500,000 or $700,000 of debt to build that. Don't ever think that if you hit that sore spot, that's a pain point. Throw that in. Hey, you probably, you know, this equipment ain't cheap. You got staff and secretary. Let me get you more paying customers. I can do it at a fraction of the price that you've ever done. I can bring them. If you don't get paid, if you don't make money, you can cancel. You can cancel and stop working me anytime. In fact, if I don't do it at all, I'll even give you a refund. So that's another thing we'll talk about later, but you can add refund clause, which just those are called sweeteners. You sweeten the deal. I don't like to lead with that. You don't want to set yourself up for a refund, but you can sweeten the deal at the very end if you see them almost ready, but a little bit backing off. Okay? So, watch this video more than once. This is very, very, very important. Okay? So, I want you to leave a comment below to close out this lesson. What's the number one thing that you didn't know how to do that you learned from this lesson? I don't care how advanced you are, you probably aren't doing this exact thing. There's many more components. I wanted to keep it relatively simple, but advanced enough for those of you who are already a little more advanced. I've sold a lot in sales, okay? So you can trust that I'm not an amateur in sales. 17 years been doing sales in every form, from cold calling to in-person, from life insurance, health insurance, to internet, 50 million people watching in a month, okay? So this stuff works. Trust the system that I'm giving you. Trust the tools. You got to trust something. Trust this, okay? I wouldn't give you garbage. I have no incentive to give you garbage, because the last thing I want as a business owner is a whole bunch of people saying it didn't work. This SMA program has been working for people for years. And it's just getting started for you. 2.0, baby. So leave what you learned. What's something, a little angle, a little idea. Write it below. That'll unlock the next lesson. Good luck out there. See you on the next lesson. Start talking like this to everybody. Even start learning to sell even when you're not needing to sell. As Confucius said, I think it was Confucius, do what is difficult when it is easy. So start learning to sell when you're not with 3 cents left in your bank account and having to sell. Okay? Good luck.